Hello everyone, welcome to Synapse. I'm Dr. Troy Spurl. We're here today just to share a testimony from Tabitha. Before we do, we're going to read our opening statement. Only God can turn a mess into a message, a test into a testimony, a trial into a triumph, and a victim into a victory. I will give you back your health and heal your wounds, says the Lord, from Jeremiah 30:17, one of my favorite. So we're here today to talk a little bit about functional medicine in particular and Tabitha's story. So she's kind of to come in and just answer a few questions for us. So my first question is, do you remember way back when what brought you to Synapse?
Yes, I do. I was in a very desperate, hopeless place. The year before I came to Synapse, I was, and prior to that, I was what I thought was healthy, typical suburban stay-at-home mom, busy, active, hanging out with my friends, doing activities at school. And one day I started having pain, and that pain just started spreading, and I started having other symptoms. Of course, I was going to doctors. I was getting blood work, MRIs, CT scans, everything. I went from referral to referral, orthopedic doctors, OBGYNs, just all sorts of doctors, and finally ended up just getting prescribed or getting sent to a pain clinic and prescribed narcotics, 24/7. I have no hope, for getting better, and they're just giving me a pill. And someone told me about Synapse, and I had never been to a chiropractor. I had never been to a functional medicine doctor. I didn't know anything about, I thought I was healthy. I mean, I ran and I ate low fat.
Yeah, when she says she ran, she runs. Like, I have to tell this girl to stop running so much. I literally have to say, back it off a little bit.
Yeah. And I had just ran, the Twin Cities 10 mile and had a great time like 2 months before I started getting sick. So I was very active and healthy up to it. So anyway, I came, and the first thing I got from you was compassion and hope and time. I mean, I know it's more money and it's expensive, and especially with health insurance not always covering it, but the time you guys spend versus with what a doctor's, if you put that, it's all relative.
Yeah. Yes.
I had lots of time from you and patience, and just was given hope. So that's what brought me here.
How did it work out for you? How was tell us a little bit about your journey.
Oh gosh.
And when was that? How many years ago?
So 2012 was when the pain started, and I came to you. I remember it was like New Year's Eve day or something, and of the end of the year, so almost exactly a year. So 2013.
Okay.
So almost 2014. So that's how long ago, and it was hard. First of all, you told me to change everything I ate, and I'm like, what's coconut oil? I mean, I was that clueless, and so that's where you started, and you put me on I did a 6-week thing, and you did all sorts of stuff, and nothing helped. It wasn't easy, and yet you didn't give up, and you kept trying, and honestly, you kept trying different things for a good, that whole year. And even in the midst of that, I was still trying other things. Like, I went to the Mayo with your encouragement. I'm like, people say I should go to the Mayo. I haven't been to the Mayo. I feel like I've done everything. So I went to the Mayo and ended up leaving there with a referral for behavior health. So they basically was saying I'm crazy. There's no reason. They looked at my stack of medical records and said, you've done everything. There's nothing wrong with you. And so I just came back and kept plugging away with you.
Yeah, there was a lot of variables there, and there was a lot of, we knew certain things, but we could tell we were missing some things. So I remember going through it and also wondering, what are we missing? And so
and finally
it helps having someone working with someone like you, us working with you and you working with us. That's needed many times with scenarios like this.
Yeah, I did everything you said by the book.
Very compliant, which helps us, because that's how we get the results. Because when we have a teammate to work with, when it's not so obvious, you have to do some problem solving and some discerning through some things.
Yeah.
So, and then, sorry.
I was gonna say, and then you actually, you would do lots of different testings as well, and you were the one that, through some muscle testing, indicated that I probably should look into Lyme disease, and had me start seeing a Lyme literate doctor, and so alongside you I did that, and that's when I was able to at least start my road to getting off the pain meds and getting well.
And you are off the pain meds right now, right?
Oh, for sure. Never have taken one since, but I mean, it's not a fun place to be.
No.
Being dependent on that and having no hope for getting better, so.
Yeah. This might be a silly question, but did you ever get frustrated during the process?
Oh, so frustrated, because it's, because I did everything you said and nothing was helping, or even before you, I was such a believer in, my grandfather was a surgeon. I thought doctors could fix everything, and I'm not bashing all Western medicine. There's some great doctors.
Absolutely.
And I personally feel like an integrative approach is the best approach because we need both.
Yes.
But yeah, and what I do when I'm frustrated is I research into the ground, and what happens when you start Googling and researching stuff, you get more confused, you get, more worried, more scared, and.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why, especially in today's age, we have more research than we have time as a doctor to review all that research. So we use a team approach, and we rely on a lot of other functional medicine and traditional doctors to give opinions to help discern through that. But one of the things I love about functional medicine is we use the body. The body gives us clues as to what's working for you and what's not, so we can see what research is actually pertinent to you. Mm-hmm. And so it's very, very important. And it's one of the things, I remember, because you're a researcher, I'm a researcher, and we would come back with ideas, and we had different potential outcomes based off all that. And so that actually can be very, very helpful when you work together with someone on that. Mm-hmm. For you, what's been the hardest part so far in the entire health journey?
I think the hardest part to wrap my mind around is that it's just going to be an ongoing thing, and it for sure is for me. Some people can take away a certain food, or exercise and lose weight, or like my daughter, but she's 26 years old. I've got age, she's got youth. Yeah. She took away all this food that she was intolerant to, and she felt great. And I'm like, well, I'm kind of jealous. Yes. Mine doesn't seem that easy. Now I don't have any pain, and I am as active running as I ever was. So maybe if I was more average and didn't try to push myself so hard.
Yeah, she runs like
I like to run, and I wasn't able to run. No, I wasn't able to walk up the stairs. I was using a wheelchair when we'd go to events where I had to be, walking. My 16-year-old son would carry me up the stairs in the evening sometimes because I couldn't even make it up the stairs. So I was really so the fact that I can run, I remember when I first started running, I would run and I would cry, and
I remember that too. I remember you telling me that. You would come in and crying because she's like, I just decided to go for a little run, which is 10 miles, by the way, just a little run. And
I think people think I was in lots of pain because right. I'd be like crying while I'm running.
Yeah,
praising God.
Yeah, it's a blessing when you can't do that and you get that back. That is something. That's something I know about personally with my own health journey, which is one of the reasons why I do that. So I do understand and get that. So was there anything that kind of surprised you? Because in functional medicine, we take a look at the whole body. How are you doing mentally, chemically, physically? Is there anything that surprised you? And as we take you through the process of those years of work that you've put into it, is there something that kind of surprised you as to, this was a problem or the problem or something like that?
I feel like I'm always surprised by the connections and the findings, and like the mind-body connection, never knew how strong that was.
Yeah.
And just the blank.
Just how much impact your thoughts can have.
Yeah.
Well, in scripture we're told to guard our thoughts, and we've seen that manifest here in the room where
Yeah.
we'll be looking at stressors and emotions, and it's shutting down muscles and physiological reflexes. And under the microscope, we actually see our cells start to close off and fold over when we're under stress. But with a scenario like yours, the pain that you're in is another type of stress.
Yeah.
And the body can start to close off and shut down, and we see an increase in the aging process. And when you get rid of that, that's just one less stressor the body has to deal with, and it's a big one. And we can actually start to see people live a healthier, more vibrant life. And truthfully, we see other people, because you've gone through this, you're going to see friends and family who have chosen different paths kind of age right before your eyes as they keep saying, "How are you so young?
Yeah.
How are you?
No,
how are
we've
you?"
already
You've
been
witnessed that.
seeing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No,
it's very
it is,
common.
It is, you're right, the mind-body connection is huge. The other thing is the gut connection. I knew nothing about, and now that's everything to me. I mean, every single thing that happens to me physically or mentally, I can point it back to my gut.
Yeah.
And that is one thing that I still continue to struggle with. But again, you know, your gut health declines with age.
Yeah.
I've been through a lot physically with the Lyme disease, being on lots of antibiotics, narcotics, you know, I've put my body through a lot. So the fact that I'm not in perfect shape, even though I like exercise and eat super clean and, you know, take supplements and everything, it's, you know, that's something that for a while I'm like, why am I not like perfect? Because I'm doing everything perfectly. But
Yes.
I have to remember that, you know, I've been through a lot, and then just with aging. And so I'm not looking to live forever, and I'm not looking to, you know, I'm just looking for quality of life.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely.
And I know we can't do everything perfectly, but you know what I can do, I would like to do. So.
Yeah, and right now, quality of life, definitely as we age, we have to learn to surrender certain things, but we also have a saying here, don't let age be your cage. So
Yeah.
we want people to age gracefully, but also be so competitive with it that they're like, no, I'm going to be doing stuff.
Yeah.
In my 60s, 70s, and 80s, I'm going to be doing things. So we like that mindset, and Tabitha has that mindset, and so we like to promote that as well. Why do you like the functional medicine approach?
Oh, because it's a whole body approach, because it's not a Band-Aid approach. I like it because it enables me to have control over my body, my future, instead of just being dependent on a doctor or a pill. I mean, I know that I've talked to you about that before when I'm like, you know, my husband comes in a couple times a year and he's good, and I'm like, shouldn't he be coming in like every month? I mean, shouldn't you have him on it? And he's like, some people, you know, don't, and some people do, but I know your approach is to get people's bodies and to, you know, be good on, you know, for them to be good on their own without your help.
Yes.
But if we need your help,
that's exactly
we're
right.
there, and you don't give up. So I like that, because
no,
you don't give up on me.
Yes, I don't have all the answers, and we don't have all the answers here, but we never give up. So we'll find someone who has the answers if we don't have them.
And there's always something. I mean, our bodies are so complex.
Yes.
There's always something you can look into.
Yes, and there's someone somewhere who has studied something that's going to be relevant. Yeah. And so when I first started practice, I never promised people I'd get them better. I promised them they'd never find someone who would work harder for them. Yeah. And so, because that I could commit to and be 100% okay with up here. Because only God knows what's wrong and how to heal properly. So that was a big part of it, and it is a big part of it. So we do see a lot of complex things, but we also love to see people like your husband,
yes.
who I only need to see once or twice a year to stay in tip-top shape, and he does so well. And we have many people like that as well. So, but you pay certain people, you pay attention to the specifics of the mental and the chemical that works for them, and diet in particular, and you'd be surprised how well.
Well, and he changed everything, like according to when I changed everything. So I mean, he's living a lot healthier too. Yeah.
So the support you got from him is very, very important, and so There's the people that I see get support from their spouses, men and women, tend to do better because the stress of resistance in that area becomes very challenging too. So that always tugs at the heart a little bit when you see that. But yeah, very supportive spouse, and he's benefiting from your journey a lot. So we're all thankful for that. So what words of wisdom would you give to just the people listening here when it comes to their health? Maybe if they're struggling a little bit with their health, or they feel like there's no answers or hope, what words of encouragement or wisdom would you give them?
Like I said, there's always something, not to give up hope. Find a good functional medicine doctor. There's just so many things they can do, and your body. I mean, God made our bodies so that we're supposed to be able to heal, and if we just keep putting band-aids on them with pills and whatnot, it's kind of stunting our body's healing abilities. And so don't give up hope. I struggled for a good 3 years without knowing any answers, and I did give up hope, and I was depressed, and it's a very lonely place to be. I get that. Going through what I did for so long, I'm not sure why I thought I shouldn't have to, because I knew a lot of people who struggled with illness and cancer and everything and didn't get healed, and yet I was like, why aren't you healing me, God? I mean, I'm praying, I'm a good person, why aren't you healing me? Yes. Or at least, why aren't you giving me answers? I just wanted, to know why this was happening, not why I was sick, but why I had pain. I mean, give me a diagnosis. I just need a diagnosis. And so it was a hard time, but
apparently he wanted your whole family to be healed too, because a lot of what they
what's funny is my kids have time and again said, I think God allowed you to be sick because it saved all of us. And honestly, our whole, the way our family lives and eats and everything is so different than it was. I mean, they're like, you probably saved us all from so many diseases and illnesses. And my youngest, Trey, he's 13, he was 6, and he's like, I'm probably gonna live forever because I started this so long ago.
See, I love that attitude.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for coming in and sharing your story, your testimony. I believe it's going to serve so many. So, yeah, thank you.